Well, today we continue our series, Shining Light on Black History in Colorado. And joining us today from History Colorado is Claire Oberon Garcia. We know that Colorado's resorts are, of course, a major draw for tourists and newcomers moving to the state. What many may not know, though, is how segregation actually led to the creation of some of our historic resorts. Can you detail that a little bit for us?
Yes, absolutely. I think to understand the Green Guide, the importance of the Green Guide, and resort spaces like Lincoln Hills, you really have to understand what life was like for Black people in the 1920s. And so in 1919, of course, World War I ended. A lot of people aren't aware that over 350,000 African American men participated in World War I. So there was a renewed effort when they returned from the war to make the world safe for democracy. There was a new insistence from Black communities and Black organizations on getting full citizenship rights, the freedoms that they had. And so there was quite a backlash that was quite violent. And so despite the rise of increasing literacy rates in the Black community, as well as the rise of the Black middle class, the United States was still very severely segregated. There were spaces where Black people were not welcome, yet the Black population, especially the middle class, who, like other Americans, developed an enthusiasm for travel once cars became affordable.
Right.
And so they wanted, like everyone else, to get out and see the wonderful country of the United States, but it actually was not safe. You could suffer anything from what the inventor of the Green Book called embarrassment from
Right.
finding yourself somewhere where you weren't unwelcome to facing a life and death situation. So the Green Book, the Green Guide, was first published in 1931 to tell African Americans on the road where were places where they could get accommodations, where they could eat, Black businesses that they could frequent, even public spaces that they could feel relatively safe in. Yes, and
was
so
Colorado a difficult place for Black people to navigate through the years of the Green Guide, the Green Book?
yes, actually it was, because Colorado was a Klan state. Like the Ku Klux Klan had infiltrated Colorado communities and political structures to a greater degree than a lot of southern states. So it was a pretty dangerous place, but as it still is, it was a very beautiful place. And so Lincoln Hills is one of the examples of safe spaces where Black travelers and Black Denverites, actually the homeowners in Lincoln Hills came from across the nation. They drew on a national pool, so it was a place to be safe and welcomed. And the Green Guide articulated all of those spaces across the United States, and there were quite a few in Colorado. I was surprised at how many Green Book sites there are.
Because sometimes when we talk about segregation, it sounds like 100, 200 years ago, but it's not. It's not that far in our past, and of course it's changed. It's not like we live in a racist-free society now, but it certainly is nearer to our present day than we like to think, I think.
Yes, and I think to understand the importance of places like Lincoln Hills, you have to understand that segregation was violent. So it really was, you could find yourself on a country road in a nice car in a life or death situation just because someone thought that you didn't belong there.
If you wanted to learn more, History Colorado is a great place to learn more about our state, but talk about what History Colorado's role is in making this segment of information available to people who want to learn more about it.
Yes, absolutely. So History Colorado is dedicated, very firmly dedicated and committed to telling the whole rich story of stories multiple of people in Colorado. And so we do that in many ways through exhibits, of course, and programming, but also one of my colleagues, Terry Gentry, is doing a museum of memory to collect people's stories. And since fundamentally history is stories, then getting people to share their stories, their experiences of growing up in Colorado at different historical periods, their family histories, very, very, very important.
Great opportunity for people to learn more. We love you stopping by. It's good to see you, Claire.
Yes, it's great to be here.
Well, thanks for visiting. Claire Oberon Garcia. History Colorado is always a valuable place, but especially this month may be a great place to go check out and learn more.